Hello. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, I hope you stick around. Here's the long-awaited part 3 of this series. This took way longer than expected, but it's finally here. I've been cutting down on my work, so I should be having more free time to spend writing. Now on to the warnings. My content is almost never censored. That goes for curse words, mentions of the sideways tango, etc. So without further ado, let the story begin. Welcome. This is part 3, so if you haven't read part 1 and 2, please do. Warning. All of my stories contain no censoring with cursing, sexual scenes and other things too. Trigger warning. Infidelity, cheating, arranged marriage, angst, fluff, some 18+ scenes, etc. All good? Let's go. Once he made it to work, free from his fiance's stares and annoying requests, he sat in his office chair and he placed the cup of coffee to the side. Like always, he immediately began doing his work like he does every single day, going through files, sending out emails, attending meetings, and making business deals is what happens on a normal day for 𝕟𝕩𝕗𝕖𝕝𝕚. Hours have passed with him being too caught up with his work, simply forgetting about the now cold cup of coffee, resting alone on his desk. Around noon, his watch beeped, indicating that it's time for a lunch break. He quickly finished typing what he was working on and stood up, ready to go get something to eat when he noticed the cup. I must have forgotten about the coffee, damn it. SakuAtsu grabbed it, feeling somewhat guilty for not finishing it earlier, but there's nothing he could do now. He walked over to the trash can by his desk, ready to toss it when something caught his eye. 𝕟𝕩𝕗𝕖𝕝𝕚 twisted the cup, letting the number written on the side fully be revealed, along with a small note. Call me. When did he? His eyes traced the numbers as a smirk formed on his lips. Ha. Atsumu, you sneaky little blonde. 𝕟𝕚𝕚𝕚's smirk didn't leave his face as he pulled his phone out of his pocket, unlocking it and typing in the number on the cup, sending a quick message. Atsumu was on his lunch break, munching on his sandwich and scrolling through social media when a text from an unknown number popped up. He raised an eyebrow as he read the message before a blush and a giddy smile formed on his face. He knew exactly who it was. Who would have thought you'd pull something like that? The blonde giggled at the message and typed in his reply. Well, that depends on what I did. Who is this? Don't act dense, Atsumu. You know who I am, don't you? I don't know about that, SakuAtsu. See? You knew it was me. Atsumu laughed at the last message from him. Oh boy, he was having fun. He was already enjoying their conversation and couldn't wait for what the future has to come with them. Since SakuAtsu first messaged the blonde, they talked every day, no matter what the time was. No matter if it was midday during Atsumu's lecture or in the middle of the night, while SakuAtsu was finishing last-minute paperwork and the blonde couldn't sleep. Now their simple relationship of being acquaintances was blooming into a close friendship, maybe even being the best of friends or something more than that. Atsumu came over one night while 𝕟𝕚𝕚𝕚's fiancé was out hanging out with her group of friends. They were lounging around on the couch with the blonde resting his head in 𝕟𝕚𝕚𝕚's lap, the latter's fingers running themselves through his blonde locks. Atsumu's eyes focused on the movie that was playing while SakuAtsu wasn't paying attention to anything but the blonde, his eyes lingering on him, as he watches Atsumu lay there with a gentle smile resting on his lips. For once the Ravenet felt content. He never had these moments with Suzuki. They rarely interact with each other in their shared home. 𝕟𝕚𝕚𝕚 acts so cold to her despite her efforts. Yes, he does show some towards her, but all of it is for show, only to please his parents and the public. In times like these, he wishes his life were simpler. A life where he didn't have to be in an arranged marriage, one where he wouldn't have to feel guilty about feeling this way towards the blonde. Where he and Atsumu could be together without any care for what others say. A small sad smile formed on 𝕟𝕚𝕚𝕚's lips as he thought of the blonde, longing to be someone who can love him. Dart. Omi? Atsumu's soft voice brought him out of his thoughts. His face now looking up at him instead of the movie, with his eyes full of worry and small frown that graced his lips. A frown that SakuAtsu ever so dearly wanted to kiss off. He doesn't know what took over him, but he found himself leaning down, closer to the blonde. A small gasp was let out by Atsumu before the 𝕟𝕚𝕚𝕚's lips crashed into his. It was a soft and tender kiss, lasting only a few seconds before realizing his mistake. Atsumu. I. The Ravenet choked on his words as he stared into the blonde's honey-colored eyes. He looked into them searching for an answer. Was he upset? Did he hate the kiss? Did his breath stink? All of the thoughts rushing through his mind came to a halt as Atsumu's eyes softened and once more their lips met. This time it was passionate, as if he was telling him to not worry. Atsumu was the one who pulled away first this time. "It's okay, Omi. I'm here." Those words made all the reasoning in Kayumi's brain disappeared in an instant. His hand slid behind the blonde's neck, pulling him closer and kissing him roughly. Atsumu's eyes widened, but he soon melted into the kiss. Placing an arm loosely around Sakusa's neck, wanting to stay in this moment for as long as he can. After all, neither one of them know how long this dream can last. To be continued.